Today we're going to start working on our symmetrical designs. This is what our finished product will look like. We'll be using oil pastel and we'll also be adding watercolor next time. Today we're going to start building our design and then adding some blended oil pastel details. So we'll leave some parts open that we can add watercolor to later. Now, the materials you'll need are a piece of paper, some oil pastels, and something that has kind of a hard surface that you can rub with. I'll show you what we'll be using that for later. Now, the first thing you need to do is fold your paper in half. So I'm going to line up the corners and use my finger to crease the side. So I've got this in half. I'm going to use my oil pastel just to draw where the center line is so it's easier for me to see. Now, with a symmetrical design, we're going to make both sides look exactly the same. So, to do that, we're going to draw our design on one half and then we're going to transfer it over to the other side. So I'm going to make my design. And you can keep this simple. It doesn't have to be too complicated. It can be abstract or it can represent something. It's up to you. I'm just going to use some different lines to create my design. Now, once you've made your lines on one half, we're only drawing on one half of our artwork for now. You're going to go back over and try and use a dark oil pastel. I'm using dark blue, so I'm going to go over my lines. All right, now for kind of the fun part that will make this symmetrical. What we're going to do is we're going to fold our paper back in half, making sure the oil pastel is on the inside. And then we're going to take our hard object, it could be a marker, it could be the back of our fingernail, it could be the bottom of a water bottle, and we're going to rub the surface of the paper. We're trying to rub extra hard on top of the line, so if you can see the lines through your paper, you can try and go over those areas a little bit extra. Then what we're going to do is open up our artwork, and it should have transferred our lines onto the other side like this. Now, the lines are a little lighter, so what we're going to have to do is go back over those lines with our oil pastel, and then we'll have a symmetrical design. So you can see, because we transferred our lines, both halves of the artwork look the same. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to start coloring in a few sections. We won't color it all in because we want to leave a few spaces for watercolor paint next time. So the spaces you do choose to color in, you'll want to color in completely, getting rid of all the white space, and you can even blend a few colors together. Here I blended orange and yellow. Here I did yellow and kind of a tan color, and you can see how you can get an interesting effect. So the other thing you want to keep in mind is you want to make the shapes on either side the same color. So if I'm going to color this one in blue, I'll want to make this one blue too. So to help me remember, sometimes I put a little X in the two sides that I'm blending. So maybe this side will be light blue and yellow. So I'll put a little X on where I'm going to add those colors. Next, I'm going to start adding in some oil pastel. If I want to blend it, I might just color half of it and leave the other half for the other color that I'm going to blend. And you can see even the oil pastel lines will blend a little bit with your design. So keep that in mind when you're choosing a color. Now I'm going to take another color and I'm going to layer that on top, and then I can make those two colors blend together. And this just adds a little extra interest to your artwork. All right, so I was really careful. I covered all the white area up. Blended it really well. Now I can move on to my next section. So I think I'm going to do this section next. I'm going to make sure both are the same color. This time I'm going to use, I think, some dark blue and purple. So we'll see how that works. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of getting to the end of this purple oil pastel. So what I can do is I can use my fingernail to tear the paper a little bit and peel a little bit off, so then I have more of the oil pastel exposed. So I'm going to go back in here and blend this blue and purple together. So you just blend by layering two colors on top of each other. There we go. All right, I'm going to do one more section before I leave this for next time. So I think I'm going to do this section next. I think I'm going to blend this light blue with, ooh, I haven't used green yet with this green. So let's blend those together. And I'm making sure I keep both sides looking the same, keeping that symmetry. All right, so this is where I'll be leaving my artwork. I might go back over some lines to make them show up a little bit better, but I'll be saving this for next time when I add watercolor to my artwork. Now, before you hand these in, make sure you get your names on the back of them so we know who they belong to, and we'll finish working on your symmetrical designs next class.